Are you ready to rock and roll? Alright, enough of that. All we have here, sir, is a fiddly fuck. And I'm gonna fiddle this fuck until it sings a fucking aria. Alright, so what we got here is we've got the beautiful powder coated panel. We've got the wonderful powder coated hex mesh. We've got my breakfast, which is almost done. We've got some speaker grill cloth. This stuff's going to be wonderful. Transparent to air. The usual. And then, depending on the situation, I may be using that, or I might be using this. And I'm using some magnets right now to flatten this mesh down and get it to lay right up on the surface. And I'm thinking about working with some super glue, just filling cells with super glue. But I'm going to use a scrap of this material on some metal and see how it grabs first, because if it doesn't stick, it's just going to make a big mess. And then this would be the next thing that I'm going to test is this clear. It's clear, so it shouldn't be too ugly. Again, fill the cells. That's my breakfast burning. And try that. And then I'm going to use some metal. Check out over here. Got this 1/8 inch by 1/2 inch aluminium, as they might say in Britain, which I'm going to use to make my speaker cloth frames. And I'm going to glue the magnets to the back of this so that it sticks to this. And that'll make it completely black behind the hex mesh. So you get the hex mesh effect with the speaker grill effect. And I guess I better stop burning my breakfast. Alright, got the hash browns flipped over. They'll stop beeping at me. So that's the plan anyway. First, to glue the hex mesh down one way or another using some kind of epoxy or super glue. Then to use that wonderful transfer adhesive I have that's so sticky. Stick the speaker cloth to 2 bars of metal, stretch it out, and use the magnets that are glued to the metal hidden under the speaker cloth, so everything just looks like black on the inside or the outside. And that way it'll be attractive, be removable, cleanable, whatever. Try that out and see how that works out for me. Alright, here's my little test setup. This is a steel card from my powder coating guys I used to be able to work with till they got too busy, but they're still awesome. The awesome powder coat dudes. Okay, anyway, these are some strong magnets. This is a scrap of the hex mesh. This is a powder coated steel panel. Perfect test. Super glue. So what I'll do is I'll just dribble a little super glue around in here, let it dry, and then I'll do a little destruction test for you to see how it works. Stuff is so clear it's hard to even tell if I'm getting any on there, but I am. So I'm going to put some on here and here, and then I'm going to try and rip it loose. Looks like a pretty easy installation method. Very neat. I don't have to worry about making a huge mess. As you can see, it doesn't even really show up. We'll see if it frosts up after it dries. Sometimes it will. Alright, here's the deal. As you can see, it left little fogs where I over-applied it. I couldn't tell if it was seeping under it. I think I could have put less, but I wanted to give it a good shot. You can see I'm pushing sideways enough to completely destroy the mesh before it wants to come loose. It's on there for real now. Yeah. So I'm going to stick a putty knife under there. See if I can do anything, or try and pry it, or yeah, I can see the glue's still wet, so I didn't even really let it dry properly, but you see it actually glues the powder coat to the powder coat. So I think that's a successful test. So for my little project over here, I'm just going to carefully go along, put several magnets on either side, and I may trim this back a little bit. It's a little big. I left them a little big because I wanted to be able to have plenty of adhesive, but I can see how strong this stuff is. I'm only going to need one cell showing, so if I hit every cell that's showing, I can make a little bit smaller hex mesh, and then I could lay a speaker frame over the top of that, right onto the panel. Ain't nature grand? Look at that interesting shape that happens when you snip one cell of hex mesh off. It's awesome. It's art. Anyway, this has all been super glued. I still have some magnets holding it down because I found, that super glue does not dry as fast as I thought it might. But everything over here was glued first. It's pretty secure. And then this has just been glued. So I moved over here upwind, okay? Because as you may or may not know, this stuff has cyanide in it. And so it's acrylate cyanidic. So it's poisonous. Breathing it made me feel bad. It made my eyes burn and my muscles in my neck start to clench up. So I opened up some windows and moved upwind. More soup. Okay, here you can see the other side has been glued. Here I am getting ready to do the other one. You notice the border, the margin. I got the same margin on the other side. The openings are all perfectly symmetrical. All the hex will be perfectly aligned, same top and bottom. And I'm starting off with my magnets here, and then I'll go after it with the super glue. And this is pretty much the result after the super glue of the other side. So it's just laying there. Looks very nice. Kind of like fishnets. Ah yes, as the glue dries. So here's what's been glued, and here's the spacing. I'm using some pretty strong magnets here. I'm doubling them up. Hex mesh doesn't like to lay flat, as you can see. It's sticking above the surface there. Once I've magneted it down and super glued it, it lays very nice, very flat. As you can see, I have gone to great pains to make this as aesthetically pleasing as possible, as much as hex mesh glued to white powder coat can be. Alright, here we are waiting for the glue to dry, part 2. I've got the last little section here. My little method has been to scoot them along, do a section and scoot them along, and do the section that was covered and scoot it along. And it has resulted in a nice flat bond right down to the old powder coat. Nice. Stuff's still drying, but the way I did it was areas would be dry, and then I'd do an area next to it, and so on. So I centipeded my way along. Alright, so looks like it's about time to start on the old speaker grill cloth assembly. I'll take it from there. Okay, for some reason my camera just refuses to stay in focus here, you see. So here I am working with a defective camera. Anyway, I got the panel up here in the bedroom to protect it from damage and let it stay warm and let the glue dry properly. And so that's about as far as I'm going to get with this right this second, until I have another moment of peace in the house, which may not happen for a while since we have teacher work days following Martin Luther King days. Sometime around Thursday I will actually have a house to myself. Yeah! Don't you love this camera? Fucking almost $400 camera. Fucking thing is so fragile. I've tried to treat it like my little baby doll. It still fucks up all the time. Why is it doing that? Is it going into macro? Stay in focus if it's a macro. So from now on, everything will be macro. Macro.